This episode of the Date Podcast is sponsored by Bopsy. Meet up to 6 people over mobile video. It's video speed dating. Download Bopsy in the Google Play Store or iTunes. Check out bopsy.com.
We know you love us, but the information on our podcast is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. I understand I'm both an LPC and an LMFT. However, this is not intended as a substitute for professional services of any kind. If you or anyone you know needs professional help, please seek mental health services.
Hey, this is Zorric.
And Emma.
Host of the Date Podcast, the coolest podcast in the world.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about dating and stuff. Emma, what is an alpha person?
Oh, I thought it was like dog. Cat.
Dinosaur.
They do have those in Jurassic
Snake.
Park, actually.
What is an alpha?
I don't like that term. I don't.
Uh-huh.
So I guess I would be considered one. So it's someone that, likes to have the things their way, I think, for both men and women. So someone that wants to be in control, have something go their way, be the leader, the person you come to for help.
Okay.
Would you add anything for an alpha person?
No, I agree. But we're going to talk about alpha people and how to date if you're an alpha or you're an alpha male or female, how to date each other, if it's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll figure that out.
Yep.
But
first, if this is your first time listening, go ahead and subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. So subscribe so that it always just randomly
You're making me hot right now. I'm
up.
taking my pants off. Go ahead.
Ew. Why would you say that in the middle of this?
Because it's just getting hot in here. All right, go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so go ahead and subscribe so that you can just get us automatically downloaded on your phone. And you always have something funny and entertaining to listen on your drive home or when you're cleaning. I like to listen to podcasts when I'm cleaning.
Yeah, me too.
And then, of course, leave us a review telling us how funny you think we are, how funny you think I am more than anything. Yeah.
Cue the audience.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, audience listeners. If you have any questions, comments, or any show topics that you want us to discuss, like today, you can leave us an email at hello@datepodcast.com, or you can follow us on Instagram at @datepodcast on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah.
All right, you know why it's so hot in here?
Because I asked you to turn up the AC?
Yes. 22 days, 22 hours, and 15 minutes until Cowboys football. Oh, yeah. It's time.
Where's the cricket noise?
It's time to watch the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, and Zeke Elliott kick everyone's butt. Obviously, I'm a Cowboy fan. How does that make you feel? As you cross your arms,
did I?
tilt your head. You're like you're talking about sports again.
I mean, I get it. You get excited about this football, which should be called hand egg.
Did you just call it this football?
Right, because it's the wrong football. Really, football is football. I mean, we can get into that argument. It's really hand egg, handball, catch ball.
Catch an oblong ball.
Yeah.
Made out of leather.
I get it. You're excited for it the way that I get excited about, the World Cup. I get it.
So if a guy was to take you on a date to the Cowboy game, I mean, would it?
I get into it.
Yeah.
I'm really good. Let me put it out there, guys. Mm-hmm. I am really good about getting into the game when it's live.
Yeah.
If you're forcing me to watch it on TV, you better expect me to be on Facebook and Instagram. This is for both soccer, baseball, all of it.
If it was Liam Hemsworth, would you watch it with him and be into it?
Probably not.
Oh my gosh.
I'm really one of my 30 before 30, you guys, was to watch football and understand it, and I can understand it. Sometimes I still ask them questions, but I think these are kind of like the things that everyone asks about. Like, I don't get the flags. Like, why do we have to have so many flags? I don't get it.
Because there's lots of countries out there.
No, dum-dum, like in football. Like, I always say, like, flag or...
Yeah, 10-yard penalty for touching the floor or whatever. There's a lot of rules.
Yeah, and I think that's dumb. And that's what I like about soccer,
Please
is that soccer is simple.
Yeah, ball in hole or net.
Ball in net, you ding-dong.
Hold on. It's just a big... It could be a hole, depending on...
It's not a
how
hole.
you're looking at. Okay. Anyways...
Okay,
football.
Let's not talk about soccer, because football, you have one person. Their only job is to kick the ball, and it doesn't always get kicked the right way. Your job is literally to kick a freaking ball.
That's why we don't like it. We like complicated things, us men do. We like the games that are hard, where people are tackling each other like barbarians, and we get into
Wine. Where's my wine? I need wine.
Okay.
No, I get it. It's exciting. Okay, I'll watch it. I will. I'll watch it. I'll get into it.
Okay.
But again, I'll ask them questions. And you just have, people just have to be okay with it. So a lot of times I watch soccer with my girlfriends. I mean, football with my girlfriends, because it's a no judgment zone there.
Wait.
I have a few girlfriends that watch football independently.
Okay, let's do this. Let's have a watch party at my place for everyone who hates football.
It's probably just going to be me.
You're like the only one in the world.
I'm the only one. No.
Oh.
No.
Name them. Right now. I'm waiting. I don't know of any of your friends that hate football.
I'm just gonna name random people right now.
No, that's not even.
Shannon, Kaylee. I don't know.
You don't even know. They like football. They told me.
I think they probably prefer, if they're gonna pick another sport, they're gonna prefer something else, not football.
You know what I haven't done is I haven't been on a date where I took someone to a football game. Huh. American. Since you have to always.
Yes, thank you. You do have to differentiate, because we're the only country that calls football soccer, and it's annoying.
Anyway,
sorry.
Next.
Let me get off my sports soapbox. Sorry, y'all.
Anyways, so
go Cowboys. I'll root for them.
There you go. Just to repeat, we have 22 days, 22 hours, 10 minutes, and 38 seconds until kickoff. So I'm waiting.
Does that include post-game or when the season actually starts?
When a man kicks a ball.
So is that the official first day of the season for the Cowboys?
First day.
Okay. So this is their first game when they're actually playing, where it actually counts.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
For the Super Bowl.
I am.
I do watch that.
Yeah, because everyone says, I watch the commercials. Yeah. They're so funny.
Yep.
Watch the game.
Okay.
Okay. So
all right.
We have a ton of lovely listeners.
Yay.
And we have...
Thank you for putting up with me.
Oh, and me. And we have a question from the audience.
Yes.
And it says here, is it possible to be a strong, independent woman and be compatible with a strong man as opposed to a passive guy? So without going into any of our material, I want to know, answer it, Emma.
Yes.
That's it?
It is possible. I mean, the question is a yes or no question.
Yeah. So
yes.
It is. So we found 2 articles, and they're very different perspectives. So the first article is from eHarmony.com, and it says here, the number one dating mistake alpha females make. Do you know what the number one dating mistake is? Anyways, we'll go into it.
No, I don't.
We'll go into it. But so an alpha.
Yes.
Let's define that. So you defined it pretty succinctly.
Yeah.
Earlier. It's someone who likes to take the lead, somebody that
takes charge.
So Emma, how do you know if you're an alpha female?
For me,
That's an alpha female.
Are you kidding me right now?
That's an alpha female. Okay.
Was that what kind of roar was that?
That was an alpha female, right?
No, it's not.
Don't they sound like that?
No, I don't sound like that. What's wrong with you? You're about to get like my shoe thrown at you.
No?
No. What's wrong with you?
That's like the epitome of alpha.
I am about to take that iPad away from you.
Okay, as you were saying, what is an alpha?
I don't even remember what the question was.
Anyway, so the question here in the article by Melanie Schilling is she poses some questions to figure out if you're an alpha female. So I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Are you an alpha female? Are you more task focused and single-minded than other women?
I don't know about single-minded, but I am more task-focused.
So single-minded means like I can focus on one thing, like I'm just reading. I don't have to have...
So technically, y'all, it has nothing to do with that. I'm about to take that away from you. You better stop it.
Emma just roared.
No, I didn't. If I roared, it wouldn't sound that deep. Anyway, so technically, like, you know how computers can only like process one thing at a time? And so like if you have like your Word document and you're trying to like start Excel, like it's going to load Word first and then it's going to load Excel. Technically, actually not technically. Yeah, technically, like our brains do the same thing. Like, so there's a myth about multitasking. So like we think women like are more like are going to be multitaskers, but really our brain can only like process one thing at a time. So we just have the illusion that we can multitask.
Yeah. So like
science.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna make sure that I know what Emma is after this exercise.
Oh my word.
Do you see motherhood as something that will happen later?
Now I do, yeah.
So that's a yes.
I thought I was gonna have like 3 kids by now.
How many?
3.
3.
Let me drink my wine. Oh my god. Hold on, give me a sec, y'all.
Do not get depressed here. 3 kids. Do you see yourself as emotionally self-sufficient?
No.
No. Okay.
I am a therapist and needs a therapist. Thank you.
Are you sometimes accused of being aggressive?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Are you likely to get straight to the point in conversations?
No.
No.
Not always.
Okay. So what Melanie says here, the writer, is that if you responded more yeses than nos, the research suggests that you may be an alpha female.
How many yeses did I get?
3 yeses and 2 nos.
Great. Okay.
So you are an alpha female by a hair, I guess. Pretty close. I think you are an alpha female. But
I really don't like that term. Gosh, okay. I don't know. It's just something I'd rather you call me like a type A. I feel like there's a negative connotation. I don't even like it when males call themselves alpha. Like, it's just like annoying. Like, okay, get off your little like alpha horse of like high and mightiness. Ooh, let me bow down to you for being an alpha. No.
What if he's on an elephant?
Get off of the elephant. I will climb a freaking ladder. I'll climb 2 ladders stacked on top of each other to knock you down.
Oh my gosh.
No, okay. I'm joking. I just don't like the term. I'd rather you call me a type A. Call me a type A. I feel like there's less negative connotation about it.
Okay, type A.
Okay. Thank you. We can use alpha for the sake of the podcast, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I will allow it, you guys. I will do it for you. I will take... Look at how amazing I am. I'm able to do something for someone else.
She is very amazing. Okay. The article goes on to say the big mistake many females make, period. There's a misconception that alpha females need to partner up with alpha males. What do you think about that?
I disagree.
So yeah, she says misconception.
Yeah, I think that it's not alpha, like there's no great equation. Like it's not gonna be like alpha and alpha, alpha, beta, beta, alpha. Like that doesn't exist. It's more about like the balance and the roles. Gotcha. Like when you're in the relationship.
Gotcha. So you're saying that people can both be alpha, but maybe there's a compromise. Like I'm an alpha in this and she's an alpha in that. So there is a misconception. So she says, but you disagree.
Right.
What she says
I
is
respectfully disagree with this.
respectfully disagree. The author goes on to say that it often leads to a clash where both partners compete for power, dominance, and to be on top. That's what she says, be on top. So I can see that happening. If both partners do not want to compromise and they know, first of all, they have to know that they're both alphas and that, hey, we kind of have the same personality, then I see an issue there.
But I think that's I mean, we're going to talk about this a little later, but it's kind of like the misconception that the alpha is going to want to be in control all the time, because I think that as a beta, like, you can have a power struggle with an alpha too.
Okay.
Like, I think there's a power
that.
struggle in any relationship. So that's why, like, I disagree with this.
Gotcha. And the solution here is, she says, is to find a beta male. And we're not talking about beta fish, just like a beta male. And to me, a beta male is someone that kind of is laid back, that doesn't take the lead, that really doesn't take the initiative either.
Yeah, so this last guy I dated was a beta for sure.
Okay, so can you describe him vaguely if you'd like?
Yeah.
Traits.
So very laid back, very passive. Especially towards the end, my anger was a lot like bubbling over just because of like where our relationship was and like where it wasn't going where I wanted it to go. So there was that lack of wanting the same thing.
You want direction, and
right.
He didn't want
and
direction.
He didn't. And just like little things, like there were some times when I would like communication, I would be like, hey, can you help me out with this? And I was like, yeah, let me help you later. And then like later never came. So like that's something that annoys me. Like if I'm directly asking you to do something, like my expectation is that you are going to do it. Yeah. So dates, he planned the dates at the beginning. He didn't plan them towards the end. Mid, like once he kind of probably saw that I was kind of sticking with him, he stopped. That was something that was also annoying. Like
he won you already. And so.
Yeah. So he kind of just gave up. So a lot of things, like it was me always making the effort. And there were times where I would very honestly say, like, I would like for you to kind of make an effort. Like, I want you to be the one that plans things out. Can you do that, on occasion? Because I'm like, let's do something, but I don't want to always be the one who plans it. And, the argument was like, I thought you liked it. And I'm like, right, now I'm asking you, like, I would also think that you would want to reciprocate in the role.
Yeah, I think an example of a beta male is, let's say you and Emma. Okay, I'll be a beta male.
Okay.
Let's see here. So we just had coffee. The coffee was great, right, Emma?
Yeah, it was delicious.
So what do you want to do after this?
Do you want to go to the park? There's like a movie showing.
Maybe. I mean, it's up to you.
Do you want to go to the park?
We can if that's what you want to do. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's go.
Let's go to the park then.
Okay.
Right? So isn't it just like a little awkward? Like it's awkward and it's frustrating. It's a little exasperating. Well, it's a lot exasperating, and you're just kind of like, I'm telling you what I want, and what are you doing?
I think there is decisiveness.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm not going to date a beta male. I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm just saying like it just didn't work out with this last person that I was with.
But this Echo, what's a beta male?
Beta male, or simply beta, is a term derived from the designation for beta animals in ethology. The term has been frequently used in the manosphere, as is its counterpart, alpha male, designating males that are not beta. Beta frequently applies to men who are associated with feminism or men who are not assertive, particularly with women.
I disagree with that. I respectfully disagree with you, Echo.
Well, I think that's right. To me, I agree that it's a beta male is assertive. Like, for example, this is a beta male. So I think we've had a great date, right, Emma?
Yes.
I think we have a lot of things in common. Let's have dinner.
Had a lot of fun.
I heard there's a place called HG Supply across the street.
Yeah.
You want to check it out?
For sure. Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Easy.
Yes.
Right? I get this all the time from friends that say the guy cannot choose a place to eat.
I disagree.
Or he cannot, or a guy cannot like set up a date.
I disagree.
You disagree that what?
I disagree.
That a lot of people do that?
No, I disagree that like it's for me it's a give and take. There's going to be times when one person's going to take the lead and the other follows, but again it's a balance. Like just think about how we are just in society. Am I always going to be a leader? No.
I am.
I'm not. No, there's times when you know you can be in charge and you have to allow someone else to be in charge.
Well, that's a different type of leadership. That's like servants leadership.
No, right? I'm like, okay, so if we're going to say that alphas are like the leaders and betas are the followers, because that's kind of what this article is telling me. Do you have a different thought?
Okay. I agree that let me say what this article says.
Okay.
It says, a beta male is more likely to take the supportive role, so follower,
right,
with a woman to allow her to lead, to shine, and to be herself in all her glory. So a beta male is likely to provide long-term security for a woman.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree in the sense that so for me, like there's sort of like a negative connotation so if you're an alpha female and you're a beta male, those are like the things that you shouldn't be. So like let's put that picture on there first, because again it comes down to like there's times when you're going to be a leader and you have to take initiative. Even if you're the beta, quote the beta, there's times when you take the initiative and you have to lead, and there's times when the alphas are going to step back and follow. It's just how things naturally progress.
I think that happens, because maybe if someone is just not having a good month or a good day, then the beta will probably need to take the lead. Right? Is that what you're kind of explaining?
Yes, I get. Yeah, because there's gonna be there's times when I don't take charge. I let someone else take charge because I know it's not my fight. I'm also gonna pick the fights. I'm not I know that I'm not always going to be the leader. If I'm in a building and if there's a fire drill, I don't know where I'm going. Yeah. I'm gonna have to follow someone.
Yeah, you know what I've also heard? I've heard people tell me, specifically women, is that I lead at work, I run meetings, I run my team, I have 50 direct reports. But when I date a man, I don't want to do any of that. I just want to just chill and just kind of follow. So I think that's what you're getting at. You're getting at
sort of, yeah.
An alpha can be an alpha in certain parts of their lives. But maybe they are an alpha generally they're an alpha.
Right.
But they're willing to give up some pieces of their life.
Right.
For someone else to lead.
And so I have issues with this article, obviously, respectfully, that it's the challenges in her natural behavioral style. The alpha female doesn't always attract a beta male. In fact, she probably scares the pants off of him, and not in a good way. Yes and no. I think it also, because for me, I still think that if you're still this very assertive person, and even if you're with it, because if I have another assertive person and they're being very assertive, I'm going to be whoa, what's going on? And I'm going to assess the situation and I'm not going to like it.
Yeah.
And so I disagree with that. The alpha is going to scare the beta, because I still think that an alpha can scare an alpha.
Yeah, but an alpha might not be able to just take it. It's just too much assertiveness. And we have a friend. It's actually a new friend of ours that I believe is a super alpha. She's a super alpha.
Oh.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Well, maybe you don't know who, but I'll tell you off the air. But and I think she said she gave us an example about she was on a date. And she said, I think I scared him away.
And I don't
Remember?
think yes. And
okay.
Yes. But I don't think that it really falls into this whole alpha beta thing. I think it falls more into the temperament piece. And so I'm always really careful about kind of categorizing people into two things and being you're either this or you're that. And if you're this, and these are all the things that you follow, that you're going to go through. Because I'm saying you can be an alpha male and still be intimidated by an alpha female. Because think about it. If you've only dated beta females and now you're dating an alpha female, like this is going to be interesting, right? And you don't know what you're doing. You're like playing out of left field.
But then there's the alpha again, kind of butting heads again.
Right. And so in that situation, it sounded like the intimidation came because it was kind of like, I don't know if he was alpha or beta, but the intimidation comes from the fact that like this is new territory. Like what is going on?
I see. So the alpha was not used to maybe a pushback.
Right.
Or
and
something.
let's say if you are a beta, then you probably are getting scared, right?
Yeah.
If that's the argument.
Quivering in my boots.
Yeah.
So just for the sake of the article, it talks about how to attract beta males. Did you hear that?
Oh my gosh. You give the little meek meow during the beta male talk, but you give me a freaking roar. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness.
Because you're an alpha. For the audience, picturing Emma, I mean,
I just want y'all to know I'm like 4'11", like I'm really short, okay? I'm 4'11", I'm not 5 feet yet, and he's giving me like a freaking dinosaur roar. Like, I don't know what's going on right now, but I guess it just speaks to like my whole like Napoleon complex. I get it.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. How to attract beta males. Let's go through this real quick.
All right. So create space and time in your life, right? So because as alpha females, we're just going to be always so busy and we're like so self-sufficient. We have a schedule. Uh-huh. We have an itinerary about our day. We have to create space and flexibility around our schedule. So we have to let them know when we're available.
Okay. When are you available?
For you or for someone else?
For the alpha male.
I'm available right now. No, I'm joking. I'm also available right now for the beta.
Oh, okay. For the beta.
Sure.
Okay, number 2. What is it?
Allow yourself to be vulnerable. And I'm just like rolling my eyes reading this because, okay.
Maybe there's a lot of generalization here, like an alpha is never vulnerable. So she's saying, be vulnerable since these people are never.
I just feel like this is like just pegging people into two like very like set categories, and there's not much room for flexibility, even though they're saying like be flexible with your schedule and allow yourself to be vulnerable.
Yeah, it says here that generally speaking, all men are attracted to a little vulnerability in women.
Which I agree, because we mentioned a while ago. Oh my gosh, what was that Netflix comedy thing you asked me to watch? That was really funny.
Elder Millennial.
Yes, Elder Millennial, and it's very true that like we as women, this is part of it is scientific, that as women we are very like in touch with our emotions because when boys are born, your testosterone washes over your brain. And in reality, so like our brains are connected by these little fibers in the middle, right? They're connected. And so what it does, it allows us to like send information through both like hemispheres of our brain. And when you're a boy and you have testosterone, it washes over and it breaks some of those little connections. So
is that why we're always thinking about like sex?
So as we're evolving and we're like if we're both watching like a sad movie, like if we're both watching Titanic, because Titanic always makes me cry. Okay. I'm watching the scene and my emotional side of the brain is saying, no, my logical side of the brain is saying this is sad, and it's sending the message to my emotional side of the brain of like cry. Yeah. Okay. So it's a very quick like message received. For men, what it does is the logical brain says cry, or this is sad, as we're watching Titanic, and it travels through a longer way around the brain to where it finally gets to the emotional side, and it's like cry, and then like the response is like, why?
They're like, no, I'm an alpha.
So
the point you're saying is that women are more vulnerable?
No, we're not more vulnerable, but our brain just allows us to be more emotional than the male brain. And it's true, you guys. Like I've seen it. Like
Okay.
I haven't literally seen it, but I've, studied on it.
You know your stuff.
So anyway,
Number 3.
so back to elder millennial is that because of that, like men are very task oriented, right? And so a lot of times, like whenever we need help, it like pumps y'all up and you peacock a little because you're like, I gotta help my woman.
Come over here, lady.
Yeah.
Let me help you.
Hey,
with
can
your
you
car.
like hang these frames for me? Yeah, for sure.
Maybe. Or maybe.
Okay.
Number 3.
This one's creepy. Notice the guy in the shadow.
Well, I agree with how an alpha is pretty much always up front and center. I agree.
I disagree. I think a beta can choose himself to be an alpha. I think you're going to have introverts and extroverts in both of these categories. Again, this is very generalized. And so in my non-generalized argument, you can have extrovert and introvert, both alpha and betas. And
Okay.
you're going to find
True that.
right?
Yeah, we've talked about
and
that.
so you're not like, sometimes the person that's taking a lot of the attention is probably that extrovert, but they just happen to be a beta. It's not a bad thing, but don't just think that because you can see them and spot them that they're going to be an automatic alpha.
Okay, so there could be an alpha that's quiet, that likes to just be reserved, right? Okay. Number 4.
Oh my gosh, don't date when ovulating.
What does that mean?
That is
Is that ovulating? Is that what happens?
no.
What happens when you ovulate?
No, I'm going to make you read it now.
How dare you? Scientists have found that women are most likely to be attracted to males with high testosterone levels during the time of ovulation.
What is ovulation, Zorric? Please tell me what my body does during ovulation time.
Echo, what is ovulation?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Echo, what is ovulation?
Ovulation is usually defined as the expulsion of an ovum from the ovary, usually midway in the menstrual cycle.
Usually it just means that this is the time when our bodies are ready to conceive. We're ready to have babies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Okay.
And so, and what happens is because our bodies are like prepping the egg and they're letting it go down the fallopian tube or whatever. Sorry if that's wrong. Like our skin glows.
You're laying an egg.
Yeah, like our skin is glowing, like just naturally our body's like, we're ready to have a baby. Give me a baby.
Come
and
into
so,
me.
yeah, and so like we're glowing, we look great, we feel amazing, and then it all goes down the drain when we get our period.
How long is that? Like a week or something?
It's like I think there's one day that we're most fertile, and I think that we ovulate for 5 days or something. So we'll have the glow for a week before our period or something.
That's interesting, though. Like, while you're out ovulating, that you're going to be attracted to a certain man based on the testosterone level. But how can you tell if this dude has high testosterone?
It's kind of like, how do peacocks know which feathers are the brightest?
Yeah, there's no way. Okay, we'll go with it. Number 5.
Visualize what you want. So if you're an alpha female and you want to experiment with a beta, start with your imagination.
Yeah, so basically spend 10 minutes visualizing yourself in a happy relationship with a beta, going through the course of your everyday life with a beta male by your side. Imagine thoughts that will run through your mind and this and that. So
I would like to have a friendly conversation with this writer.
So Emma loves this writer, of course, or this article.
This article.
It's the article,
yes.
not the writer.
I'm sure, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure she's great. I just struggle with this article.
Okay. The flip side here is it's alpha, alpha, alpha up in this heezy for sure. And this article says, why alpha women work best with alpha males. Yeah. But I think Emma would rather it not say alpha.
Yeah.
So there's 10 things. We'll go through these.
Uh-huh.
So here's why alpha women work best with alpha males. Number one, you both have high standards. What do you think, Emma?
I still think you can be a beta and have high standards.
Yes, you can. You'll both want your relationship to be the best in town, which is why you'll try the hardest to make each other happy.
Again, I think this can happen with a beta. I think you can have, it doesn't matter what combination you have. You can have alpha, 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 beta, beta, alpha, beta, beta. And I still think you can have a successful relationship. I don't like that this is being pegged into like two very basic categories.
I think this is going to be Emma's answer for all 10, but here you go. Number 2, he'll understand your need for space. He'll understand that you need some time to yourself because he feels the same way.
I think this falls down to temperament too. Okay. All right. Continue.
Okay.
I think I'm going to just sit in the corner for a little bit, y'all.
But I think that is true. Alphas do. We want our own space. We have our own things to do, and we understand that. But betas can too.
Yes.
Betas can too. Number 3, you're both passionate.
You can do this for everyone.
You'll have the hottest sex you'll ever have. It'll be steamy.
So, okay, so you're gonna talk about this one later, but I think like passion is not just sexual passion. I think it's just about like how passionate you are about like things in general. Like I get really passionate. Like obviously I'm very passionate right now about these articles and what we're talking about. And I'm very passionate. And there's times when I get very passionate about things and I just start crying because I'm so passionate about it. And I'm just so pumped.
Okay. So I think where the writer is going, and the writer is Holly Riordan. This is blonde.com, BLOND.
Bold.com.
Oh.
Bold with an E. Bold day.
I think what they're saying about passionate is maybe an alpha also means that I'm the lead whenever I have sex, so I'm like dictating sex. And
no, because you're both alphas. Like the argument's invalid. Okay.
So you're fighting about sex. No, I'm on top. Roar.
I'm just going to go with the article right now.
Okay.
I hope all of my therapist friends that are listening are cringing as I'm cringing too.
We'll get to our own feelings at the end of this.
All right, I'll stop talking.
We'll go quickly.
Wine.
His career comes first. Some men can't understand your obsession with their career. However, alpha males love their jobs too, so they won't tear you down for wanting to put in the extra hours at the office. So that's number 4. Emma is staring at me like she wants to like have diarrhea of the mouth right now, but she's holding back. Number 5. He doesn't care what others think. Real alpha males don't give a damn about gender roles. True or false?
I don't think betas do either.
They can still hear you. No, number 6. He does not need a relationship to feel fulfilled.
I don't think betas do either.
Because he wants to date you. He wants to date you. Not because he feels like he needs any old woman in his life.
Ew, I can't believe they just used the word he needs any old woman in his life.
Oh my gosh. Number 7. He can take a joke. I guess because maybe they're generalizing and they're saying alphas are so witty that sometimes they may hurt your feelings.
My beta could take jokes, so just putting it out there.
Oh my gosh. Number 8, he'll appreciate your personality because alpha women have bold traits. Okay. Number 9, he's used to working hard. So he'll see the challenges as a positive thing. No comment? No comment?
No, you told me to wait until the end to talk about my opinion.
You want like your real... Okay. Number 10, you'll grow together. You'll have a lot to learn from each other and teach each other. A healthy relationship is all about growth, and 2 alphas will always be willing to learn. Okay, Emma did not make any comments throughout this whole article.
Nope, you guys could barely hear me, right? I was like so silent, it's not even funny.
The floor is yours. What are your thoughts?
Again, I don't care what combination you are. It really falls down to like how the relationship is going to be. And I'm just not a fan of these categories. I'm not, because I would rather be an extrovert and introvert, in all honesty. And I probably need to do some of my own work as to like why I get so riled up about being an alpha, or like being called an alpha or a beta, because I think that there's a lot of like, because I think they both have such bad kind of like reputations with them, right? If you're an alpha female, that's bad. How dare you? If you're a beta male, that's bad. How dare you? And it doesn't allow us to see that there's a person that has a personality, that has a brain, that has emotional acuity, that can learn something and evolve in their relationship. It's putting us in these very like just pegs of like, you're an alpha female, you go with alpha male, or if that doesn't work, you can still try a beta male. Like, no, that's not how it works. It's like, I think that betas can do all of these things. I think that all humans can do all of these things. It's just finding the person that you're actually compatible. And I think that's why dating is so complicated, because unfortunately for us, there's no like set equation of like, I'm Emma and I am an extrovert who happens to be a type A person, who happens to be an alpha person, who gets to be matched up with an introvert who's a beta, who's a type B person. Like, it doesn't work that way. And that's why I get so riled up. That's why I'm so riled up right now.
Okay, so I think what I'm gathering from you is alpha and beta, it's too much of a generalized term.
Yeah.
It's deeper than that. There's a lot of categories that are within that. Because
if we're saying, like, and even with like extrovert and introvert, like, it's sort of like, okay, so then my follow-up question to that is, so when you're processing something, like, how do you process it? Do you process it out loud? Do you process it internally? Like, tell me a little bit about that, because then that kind of gives you a little bit more of a picture versus like alpha. It's like, I'm just so type A. Like, I have to be in control all the time. I can't let go of power. And I'm like, that's a lie.
Yeah.
Because I think that we're all followers and leaders, just depending on the situation.
Got it. And we know when to be. Like, for example, if I'm not leading a project, I know that I'm helping out, or I'm so I'll step back and I won't lead, because I know that there is a leader with this project. It may not be my project. So I want you to answer this question, not with a yes or no, though. Is it possible to be strong, independent woman and be compatible with a strong man as opposed to a passive guy? I guess what feedback and what recommendation would you give to our listener?
It falls down to, for me, it falls to like the esteem on the man's behalf. Because if you're a passive guy, if you're confident enough in yourself, you're going to have a successful relationship with this person who is a little bit more
assertive.
Yeah. And vice versa. If you're the assertive male and you're confident in yourself, you're also going to have a great relationship with this other person that's the same, right? So it really falls down to like how like confident you are within yourself. And a lot of times these relationships don't work because someone can lack that confidence, or don't feel like they're good enough, or they feel like they have to project something on someone else, or because their values aren't the same, because they value something different. There's lack of that. So there could be a lot of factors. At the end, though, I do think that you can be compatible with whoever it is that you like, that you're attracted to. I think that there's a way to do it. Sometimes you just need a little bit more work to get it done. But if it's going to be overwhelming, then I think it's time for you to move on to someone else.
Yeah, and if you kind of dissect I know it's a really short question, but she says strong and independent. So maybe she's had experiences with men who, and she probably is very independent and very strong, and maybe she's very also accomplished.
But what does that also mean? Like, what does a strong independent person mean?
Maybe she's very accomplished. Maybe she's a high earner. Maybe she has her own house. She has a nice car. And maybe in the past, she's had men that were just they were just intimidated by all of that.
Right. So that doesn't fall on her. That falls on that person.
So maybe she's picking the wrong men in general, right?
Yes and no, but yes.
Okay.
Yes and no, but however, yes. Yes,
I
it's my
see.
final answer.
So, and then also, like, we need to just define what a strong man is. So I guess it could be just her.
Yeah.
Like similar to her, like how strong she is and independent she is as well.
Because I think I can be strong-willed, right? And I can see myself being called a strong woman because I am strong-willed, right? It doesn't mean like I'm not gonna back away from a fight if I don't think that I need to back off.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna keep pushing your buttons because I think I'm in the right.
Yeah. So so what I would say is that just keep looking.
Right. And like you will find the person that is compatible with you. You're going to find the person where it's not going to be stressful figuring out like, oh my gosh, I can't be so like strong and independent about him. I have to be like weaker. Like you're going to find the person that you don't need to do that for.
Yeah.
That's going to be like, I appreciate this. Like, thank you so much. And then, you're going to balance out because there might be times when they take the lead and that's okay too. It's a give and take.
Yeah, and you have to, I guess, you have to redefine that alpha question, right? Like redefine in your mind, or I guess reframe thinking about it in terms of alpha and beta.
Mm-hmm. I have never once thought, and this is something that has come up lately, but before it came up, like I've never thought about like male or females being alpha or beta. I really like think about that as like dogs, like or dinosaurs because of Jurassic Park, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think about that as humans. I hang out with people who like call themselves alphas and, say that other people are betas, and I just roll my eyes because I'm like, okay.
Yeah. What we're getting at is you can be an alpha in different aspects of your life.
Yes.
It could be at work, it could be in the relationship, but it's a matter of finding the person that's compatible with your alpha personality and compatible and also compromising, right? So if you're alpha in something, then maybe your partner should step back and maybe you should communicate that.
Right.
Let's say, hey, this is what I like to do. This is what I'm really passionate about and where I like to take the lead. Maybe you can take the lead on these things because I'm not.
Right. And trust me, like this is something that I've thought about, like where I'm like, am I too assertive? Am I too strong-willed? Am I like too much? And it's taken a lot for me to be like, this is who I am. I know I can compromise. And so if the guy like can't accept it and if I can't accept him, then like this is not the relationship I need to be in.
That is true.
Because it's hurtful. It is hurtful to like know that something that's very like innate in your personality is kind of the deterrent of the relationship, right? Like it's sort of like something innate in your personality is kind of the reason why these men like are leaving you.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just can't hang because, you're independent, you're strong. And
so that doesn't fall on you, that falls on them.
Exactly.
And like I said, it's taken years for me to realize it too. So I understand you. I'm on the same boat.
Yeah. And this is kudos to you because you've done probably a great job in your career. You're strong, you're independent. You seem like a positive person. It's just that these guys can't accept that.
Yeah.
And like Emma said, move on. Let's pick different people.
It's not on you, it's on them.
Perfect. What else, Emma?
Can I get off my soapbox now?
No. All right. So any more soap you have to... Any more soap, Emma? Is that it?
No.
Okay.
I'm good. I think I've spoken enough.
Okay. Well, I hope we answered your question.
Then if we didn't, feel free to personally message me, and I'm more than happy to chat to you about it.
Yes. Please let us know if we did. I hope we did. And if you have any other questions or comments, or you want to wish us happy 41st birthday, you can you can send us an email.
I gotta say, I appreciate the fact that like y'all's is spelled correctly on her message.
Yeah.
I appreciate grammar.
Look at the spelling and the construction of her sentences. Like
I know.
She is very strong.
I appreciate your grammar.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Where was I going with this? Oh, if you have any questions, you have any comments, if you want to wish us happy birthday, then send us an email at hello@datepodcast.com. You can also find us on Instagram and Twitter at datepodcast. So that's
Do
it
you
for
want
today.
to take the lead on that one? Do you want me to finish it for you?
Oh, I could. I could running over my own words. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys and gals again soon. Bye.
Awesome. Bye.